So just tell me, is it true that there are no homicide charges yet? Not only does CPS not intervene, they leave the child to die in a home where there's 11 calls about violence to police. And Ray may be right. Maybe there was nowhere to take the baby. Maybe they didn't have a foster family available, but they didn't even try to get the baby out of the home. They walked away, Pat.
The mother had a history of going to a shelter once for protection, but here's the thing that gets me, Nancy. They say no signs. The one-year-old, the injuries old and new on the one-year-old, the one who's not dead, the one who's now in protective care, that child's injuries were so severe, fractures old and new, bruises on the lungs and on the chest. You're telling me that just happened yesterday? How could they not know?
Good question. Hold on.
To Dr. Kathleen. And she's pregnant. And she's pregnant, Nancy. She's pregnant now.
To Dr. Kathleen London, joining us out of New York. Dr. London, is there a way for them to tell whether the injuries on this child, and they need to look at the other children too, are recent or from previous beatings?
Oh, we absolutely can tell. When you do x-rays, you can see there's evidence of healing fractures, all different ages. That doesn't happen spontaneously to a child. I'm sorry. No way. It doesn't happen by falling off the couch or anything like that. So when you see injuries at all different stages, that's a huge red flag. As a physician, if I see bruises all over a child at different stages of healing, I'm going to report that. I am obligated legally.
You know, very quickly, I want to go to Jeff Gold, defense attorney. Jeff, I think Child Protective Services needs to be prosecuted criminally because they are the ones whose duty is to protect the children. They're dead. This baby, yet again, has been left to die. I think they should go to jail. I don't mean just lose their job. I mean go to jail.
You look, Nancy, we've seen these cases over and over again. It's very hard to disagree with you that it's the state's job. That's why they're there, and they ought to be held accountable. And I really don't think it's so far of a stretch to think that their negligence requires that's criminal negligence.
To Raymond Giudice, I think CPS needs to go to jail.
Look, that would be an interesting case, and maybe the special grand jury needs to be put together by that county's district attorney. And let me jump on Jeff's point. Not only should there be criminal prosecution, but let's strip away some of this sovereign immunity that allows these folks not to be sued, and the state not to be sued for not only hiring negligently, supervising negligently. When you hit somebody in the pocketbook, in the wallet, things get better, and they happen right away.
You know what's interesting, Dr. Bethany Marshall, is that they would leave the child in the home, a violent home, thinking the mom would take care of the children. She never took care of them when the father was beating everyone. Why should she take care of them when the live-in boyfriend's beating them?
It's a very good point, and also, that to speak to Pat's point, that the CPS report described it as disgusting and filthy. Neglect is a form of abuse, so even by that fact alone, the children were being abused.
Yet